have it on loop. Hey, Joey. Foley, how are you, Dick?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well. So we're out here at LA's Midway Saloon in Lake Alfred, Florida, with Joey Foley for our artist interview, the acoustic version of Rockin' LA's Dick. Um, Glad you guys could join us. Let's see if we can't. We got 3 people watching right now. We're gonna wait for a couple more people to come in.
3 whole people, huh?
3 whole people.
What?
Joey. Yeah. We are going to be asking live questions, so if you guys have any questions in mind, please go ahead and feel free to comment them in the comment section. We will put them up down below, just as I took mine down. If you want to look here and see right here, yeah. So right there, there's the comments. So if yes, ask the comment, excuse me, then we will put it up on the bottom screen as such. Oh, let's see here. We need to bring this up. So, how is your wonderful Friday starting off?
Friday's starting off good. It really is. This is my first stop of the day, and then I'll be at the Brack Shack tonight in Auburndale. I got a busy weekend coming up with a lot of great music, so I'm excited.
The Brack Shack.
The Brack Shack is a barbecue place in downtown Auburndale, which is my hometown.
Yeah.
And one of my classmates, Bracken Smith, opened up a barbecue place, and every Friday night he has live music.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I've never been there.
Yep.
I'm going to have to come out and see
Gotta
it.
check out the Brack Shack.
The Brack Shack. All right. Hey, Danielle, the Brack Shack, okay? It's in Auburndale. They have barbecue, and it's supposed to, is it good
Some
barbecue?
of the best egg rolls you'll ever eat comes from the Brack Shack.
Barbecue egg roll?
Barbecue egg rolls of all kinds.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, you're going to have to describe these
He's
egg
very
rolls.
creative when it comes to egg rolls. And that's what he's known for. And a lot of folks go there for that reason.
That's
Plus
awesome.
the live music on the weekends for sure.
So is his barbecue sauce more like North Carolina barbecue sauce or like Florida?
I couldn't categorize it for you, but I can tell you that Bracken makes his own sauces. He has them all branded as well, and we're working on trademark deals to get them into supermarkets and things of that nature. So he's a very much an entrepreneur of the barbecue world here in Central Florida.
Barbecue sauces.
Yes.
Why don't you, while we got some questions coming up, why don't you tell us a little bit what you got coming up in this month, the next month?
Got a lot of great stuff coming up. I've never done one of these kind of, what do you call it, a podcast?
Yeah.
I've never done a podcast before.
We started these so we could kind of like help artists support themselves. You know, original music is very hard to be able to play at locations, venues, and stuff like that. So we encourage original music if you have any, but also love to support cover artists too as well. So then that way it just gives them an avenue to kind of.
And you're right about that. A lot of the places I play, they really don't want to hear, no matter how awesome your original song may be, they really don't want to hear it. They want to hear the latest and greatest that's on the radio. But I still will sneak one in every once in a while.
I love that. And, you know, venues have really, LA is very kind to let us come here. I'm not talking trash about LA, but some venues that you go to, you know, they want part of your merch sales. They want no original music. They want you to sing certain cover songs, you know, and everything's so corporate ran that nobody really gets to be original anymore.
You're right.
Even cover artists too as well, you know, tribute bands, cover artists. So we, you know, the interviews were just a way to where we could have you come on and be you. You know, me and the lead singer of the Dude, I mean, we got on and did shots at 9 o'clock in the morning on our morning chat.
Well, we're not going to do that today.
No,
Okay?
no. I mean, we got a bucket of beer back here.
Yeah, I got a whole glass of ice water right here.
We got donuts too.
Because I've got a lot to do this weekend. I can't get started too early. Okay. Definitely going to be at the Brack Shack tonight, and tomorrow I will be at Somewhere Sports Bar from 7 to 10. Sunday Fun Day is going to be at Tanner's Lakeside in Winter Haven. and
That's
then I
fun,
get
baby.
to take a couple days off before I go right back at it again.
Oh, what are you gonna do on your days off? What do you do on your
I
days
sleep a
off?
lot and work on honeydew lists.
The wife list. I like that. You know, but what do you do besides honeydew list? Do you like fishing?
Oh yes, I've got a boat. I love to bass fish when I get time. I just recently got a different boat here in the last year or so, and I was really hot and heavy when I first got the boat.
Right.
And but then all of a sudden I just got super busy musically, and then when I get up in the mornings and I got a day off and I could go fishing, but I just stay in the bed for a little bit longer.
I mean, listen, right after that last hurricane came through, we live right off of Lake Juliana, towards Holt City.
Mhm.
And my son came in the door, and I shit, you know, this fish had to be like this big. I mean, it had to be a 10-pound fish at least. And we go over there all the time. We live right on the lake, so it's always I love a good bass fishing, man. It's definitely need to get out there.
Well, that's pretty much it. If I'm not working, I'm either at the house doing honeydews or I get out and go fishing every once in a while. The big problem is that my girl, she works Monday through Friday, 8 to 5.
Right.
So normally when her weekend shows up, that's when I have to go to work.
Right.
So I don't get to go out and hang out with my buddies and my friends near as much as I used to or as I would like to. But when I do get a day off, I sneak off and actually have some fun too every once in a while.
Heck yeah. Well, you need that time with that honeydew.
Oh, that's what she said.
So how did you end up getting into music to
Well, actually, it was an odd path. I didn't start off as a musician, believe it or not. I started off as a dancer. I taught clogging for about 30 years here in Polk County, and I started dancing when I was about 10. So, but once I started doing that, most of the places we performed at when I was growing up, there was always live music there. And I was that clogger that wasn't hanging out with the cloggers. I was over there hanging out with the guys in the band, talking to them and getting to know them. So, and I did that. I danced with a group called the Black Mountain Cloggers from '79 to about '92. And then I started my own group called the Midnight Clogging Express, and I had a little different style show with them, which also included singing and dancing. It was more of an all-around show with a little bit of comedy and original music and covers, and did that for 30 years until around 2015. My old knees and ankles told me it was time to hang that up. So that's when I thought, well, I've been on the stage for 30 something years. What am I going to do now? And that's when I grabbed my guitar and started working with some of our local artists here in the area. And then things just kind of took off from there.
so can you still clog?
I'm sure I could still do it. I know I could still do it.
So if I buy you a pair of clogging shoes, you
Yeah,
gotta
well, I have some clogging shoes. The problem is I can get up and dance for you, but tomorrow I'll be walking around limping a little bit, and I got to work tomorrow. Okay. Old knees and ankles just don't put up with that stuff no more.
Miss
It even
Janet.
got to the point in the latter part of my dance career where I was getting shots in both knees and all that good stuff. So it was just time, and I did my part, as far as promoting that, and still miss it to this day. And not so much missing the dancing, but missing the families and the kids
Right.
and the camaraderie and the family that we had put together there is something I'll always miss, that's for sure.
I'd love to witness that.
Ma'am?
I'd love to witness that.
Yeah,
Seeing you do
but
that.
there's some videos out there. Y'all go on YouTube, y'all can find some videos of Joey dancing. I used to have a lot of fun doing it. That's for sure. I had a school in Auburndale and I had a school in Haines City, and did that for years and years and years.
I never knew that about you.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Sure enough, did it for a long time. It's been a blessing. As I was telling Dennis a while ago, I've danced so long and entertained around here for so long that I have folks show up at my show, and it's a student that I had 30 years ago, and they've got their child with them, and their child now has a child, so been around a long time.
But that's good.
It's
That's
a blessing is what it is.
Yeah, that's a good feeling to see that, especially generation after generation come in and still support. You know
Yes.
what I mean?
It's awesome. I miss it all the time, but It sure is a lot easier just playing this guitar and sitting on the stool. I can tell you that.
So I know you take off to Nashville every once in a while. When's the next time you go up there?
Yeah, very blessed to be a part of the Old Reds family. If you don't know who Old Red is, it's a Blake Shelton owned restaurant chain, and they have locations in Orlando, Nashville, Gatlinburg, Oklahoma, and are building a brand new one in Las Vegas right now. And I've been blessed to be a part of that family. I'm at Old Reds in Orlando quite a lot. That's kind of home for me. The end of this month, I'll be headed to Gatlinburg, and I'll be there the 23rd, 24th, and 26th. And then I'll drive over to Nashville and perform the 27th and the 28th at the Old Reds, at the brand new Old Reds at the airport. So I'm excited about that.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, and it's great. I'll get to fly into Knoxville,
Right.
do the shows in Gatlinburg, drive over to Nashville, do the shows there, then be able to fly home out of Nashville. So I'll do my last show. I get off work at 12 o'clock on the 28th, and by 5 o'clock, I'll be back home.
Now, does Honeydew go with you on some of these?
And the honeydew list will be waiting on me when I get there, okay?
Does she normally go with you sometimes?
She doesn't. She has a 9 to 5 job, and she
Right.
works, and trust me, she's seen this show before many times, so it's not something she's going to go out and every weekend and dedicate her time to coming out and hanging out with me, when she'd rather be home sleeping or cleaning the house or doing things that she enjoys doing.
Right.
So, like I say, that's a struggle when you're a full-time musician and your partner's not in the business, because there's a lot of give and take there, and I'm very blessed that I get a lot of give out of Vicky. She lets me do what I want to do. She knows I'm passionate about it. She knows I love doing it. Trust is a major issue when it comes to that sort of thing. So being a professional is very important to me. So as long as I do the right things, then I'll get to do the right things.
That's right.
That's kind of the way I look at it.
Well, gotta honor the blessed ones.
That's
So
right.
I'm pretty sure she's
Because
pretty good.
I can tell you that one simple mistake and it can all be gone.
That's right.
And I've witnessed that before in my career.
Right.
So to be able to be back here and be able to be doing what I'm doing, I don't deserve half of what I'm getting in this world. Okay.
Well, good deeds are always repaid to those that, treat people with respect and, honesty. And the old golden rule is definitely a thing. Whatever you do unto others will be done unto you.
Yes,
And,
ma'am.
so that is a very important rule in our family. So,
But I'm very blessed. And like I said, the Old Ridge connection has been very good to me, because now I'm also play locally here in my community, which is very important to me, is to stay connected to my community musically, because that's where it all starts. And when I see young artists come to me and they say, well, I love doing this, but I want to go play at Old Reds. Can I go at Old Reds? I said, well, maybe you need to start in your hometown first. Find that place in your community that you can make a connection, and build from there. And then those other things will come to you.
Right.
In our modern era of young folks, instant gratification is very important to them too. So putting in the hard work for us old timers is what we've always had to do.
Right.
Technology plays a big part in this as well. Because, Dennis can probably tell you, and I can tell you, back in the day, if you wanted a job, you had to go knock on someone's door and look them in the eye and ask for it.
That's right.
Or you had to be in face to face and they had to hear you play. Nowadays, we've got this great technology here, though, that you can reach thousands and thousands of people with just the push of a button. So young folks have got it made today as far as artistry goes.
I mean, yeah, but the internet can make you seem so different too. So it's really it's all in how you do it. But most people, they get on here and they sound way different and live than they do on the internet. I think our decorations are falling back
Is our
here.
set blowing away?
I think so. It's a little windy out here. Gotta love those little Walmart decorations.
That's right.
Hey, got them on the shelf, half price. Gretchen Wilson in the house. But yeah, I don't know. I don't even know where we were just at there for a second.
Well,
I'm just
still got a lot going on. Like I say, doing Nashville, doing Gatlinburg, getting right back to work here at home, and I will be right here at LA's next month, and I still keep my local folks attached to me. Everybody always talks about, well, you're playing there and you're doing this now, and you don't have time for us, and I make it a point to make sure I stay connected here. I mean, there's been times that I have went to Nashville or went to Gatlinburg and drove straight home from there and came right straight to LA's to do a show the very next day because I told LA I would do that. You know what I mean? And it's important to not forget where you're from.
Right.
You know, and the people that help you and still support you right here in your local market. Because at the end of the day, when all the lights and the bells and whistles are gone, you still got to come home. Okay.
That's right.
You know, so that's just my approach to it.
Well, you only
these folks ain't gonna leave me. They love me.
That's right.
Right here
and
in little Auburndale.
I mean, you know, this is my support system back here. So they, you know, and having them come out, you know, they're religious with it too, you know. So having them come out and be a part of it, it's a good thing, and it brings a lot of people together. When you stick with your community, you have, you know, everybody learns different lessons in life, right? So regardless of the genre, you can, you know, a metal artist could teach you something that you never knew, you know, and it's all in, you know, being a good human and, you know, communicating well. And
well, I just had this conversation with Dennis about you're never too old to learn, because I'm doing something today I've never done before, you know, so this is kind of interesting. Done some TV work before, and it's just a empty room with a camera, you know, and a VJ is what we used to call them back in the day, you know, so this is kind of neat. I'm enjoying this.
Yeah, it's a way to, you know, get you, you know, your show's here, you bring in a, you know, a few people, but, you know, we're gonna, we broadcast live on Facebook and YouTube. Let me see, my little mouse here kind of went sideways. But we go live off YouTube and Facebook. So the views on here, they'll continue to calculate. You know, people will scroll through. If they're looking for your stuff, the video will pop up because your name's in the description. So anything, you know, that we had one interviewee, he came out and he's like, yeah, my favorite is Oreos and, you know, Doritos, like that. It was his favorite nighttime snack was what was it? It was double packed Oreos with the nacho cheese Doritos. And
well, I got no problem with Oreos. I like me some Oreos too, and I've been known to get into that bag and make all that noise that wakes the dog up out of a dead sleep. Okay,
you never can do that and nobody know that you're opening the freaking bag. I mean, you never can get away with it. But the next show that he had, you know, a customer, you know, one of his, you know, followers, fans of his music, brought him out some Oreos, and he's like, "Dude, that was awesome." Like, because
so I'm at the Brack Shack tonight, y'all. If anybody's got some Oreos, I will gladly accept them. Okay.
He likes the double stuffed ones.
The double stuffed, yes.
Yeah. And that's the one with all the extra filling inside. I like those.
Half a gallon of milk won't hurt either if you don't bring that. All right.
Yeah. Hey, but there's a trick though. If you take your fork and you stick it into the creamy part, you can dunk it like that, and it still stays on the fork. So then that way you can.
Once again,
you're gonna change your life. You're gonna call me and you're gonna be like, Christy, oh my god, it works. Well, I'm gonna let some questions go ahead and roll in, and
well, hopefully you can see those questions, because I can't see them, but you're a little bit younger than I am.
I can. She's over there, Miss Danielle's over there tagging all kinds of people over here to pop in here. We still got about three people. Miss Kayla. How are you, my love? So yeah, if you want to go ahead and start introducing maybe some of your songs, and we'll take a little break in between each one and kind of see if I give a little story on.
Well, I guess we can start off. We're going to start off with another original song, but I do hope to get to do some originals for you. We were talking about growing up here in Central Florida.
That's right.
And I started at a very young age performing at a little place called Allen's Catfish House, which used to be down at the bottom of the overpass on Highway 92 in Auburndale.
Okay.
Across from the old citrus plant. And this was a place where musicians gathered weekend. And I was lucky enough at about 10 years of age that on Thursday nights, my mama would literally just drop me off there. And back in those days, you could do that. She would drop me off there with my little guitar and my dance shoes, and I would spend the whole evening there, you know, playing music and being a part of the camaraderie there.
Right.
It didn't take me long, though, that I worked my way up on stage to sing a song, because at Allen's, I was always known as the clogger,
Right.
you know, the dancer. But I heard this song one day on the radio. When I was a little, so what I would do is, if I had somewhere to do or something that had to go to school or whatever, I would take a cassette and I would put it in my cassette player and I'd turn it on the radio and I just mash record and I would walk away. You know, and then whenever I got home, I'd listen to that cassette and what songs I captured. And I captured this song right here, and this is a song written by Texas songwriter Mr. Guy Clark. And I started singing this song, and it was an instant hit for a little 10-year-old kid to get up on stage and sing about some homegrown tomatoes. So amazing. Even to this day, I'm 54 years old. I still have to sing this song in all my shows because someone will request it. And it's this is my version of Free Bird or Sweet Home Alabama. You know, that song that every musician dreads when someone walks up to the stage and asks for it.
How long is that song, by the way?
But the song's been awful good to me. It's opened a lot of doors for me.
Well, you do have one question. What is your most challenging song you have learned musically and vocally?
Challenging, yeah. There's a lot of them, to be honest. A lot of them that are still challenging that I probably don't do today. My biggest downfall is I'm not a great guitar player. I play just good enough to get by. You know, I really do. And I envy all these musicians around here that can just shred one, you know, and play amazing lead and all that stuff. So
right.
I would say just about every damn song I do is pretty challenging. Okay.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love it.
All of them. Right?
It takes me some time.
Oh, goodness.
That's okay.
But let me give you a little bit of Homegrown Tomatoes, all right? Because this is kind of the song where it all began for me back about 40 years ago. Ain't nothing in the world that I like better than bacon and the lettuce and homegrown tomatoes. Up in the morning, out in the garden, get you ripe and don't get a harden. Plant them in the spring, eat them in the summer, all winter without them's a culinary bummer. I forget all about sweating and digging every time I go out and pick me a biggin. Homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes. Where would I be without homegrown tomatoes? Just two things that money can't buy. That's true love and homegrown tomatoes. I'm going to give you the abridged version here, all right? Well, if I was to leave this life I lead, I'd be Joey Tomato Seed. I know what this country needs. Homegrown tomatoes in every yard you see. When I die, don't bury me in some box in the cemetery. Out in the garden would be so much better. I'd be pulling down them homegrown tomatoes. Homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes. Where would I be without homegrown tomatoes? Just two things that money can't buy. That's true love and homegrown. Ah, yes. My claim to fame, when I do my live shows, I tell them folks, I say, I'm fixing to do y'all my million seller.
Your million.
And they all get all excited. And I say, I recorded this song back in 1993 and I still got 1 million copies of the house in the cellar. True story.
I like that.
Yeah. So that was kind of the song that got things started off for me. I mean, before I sang at Allen's Catfish House when I was a kid, I of course was involved in church and sang a lot there. And that was really one of the first stages I got to perform. I was in that church. And then, as I was saying, as going out dancing, I got involved with the musicians. And it didn't take long before I was over there pulling on one of the legs of one of the guys at the band. Said, hey, man, can I get up and sing? And it was hard to turn down this little 10-year-old kid. So they would always let me get up and sing something. You know, they just really, they accepted me. I accepted them. So it's just always been something I've always done. So
That's awesome.
even today, when I have a young person that's in the audience and they want to get up and sing, I let them.
Right.
I don't care if they're good, bad, or what they are. If they've got the courage
Right.
to get up there, then they need to get up there, because I know I had the courage and someone gave me a chance when I was a young person. You know, so that's important to keep our younger group of musicians around here interested.
Right.
You know, and giving them a chance.
Absolutely.
A lot of the artists these days, they get so caught up. They just get caught up, and you know, they have a young person that, you know, come to them at the stage and want to play, and oh no, you know, this is a show, and this, that, the other, you know, and I'm the complete opposite. You know, if I can let someone get up, and shucks, it gives me a little break.
It does, and you know, that could be that little kid's dream too, as well. You know what I mean? So, giving them the time, and I mean, it's not like you're performing for Jesus or anything. I mean, that's not a.
There's no.
I don't know what I done.
You hit the off button, didn't you?
You know, this little thing. I'm trying.
And the sound man just went wild.
He's like, I got you sounding good over here. Can you stop it, please? Guys, if you would go ahead and throw some comments up. He is going to play another one, and we will read the comments after.
Can you tell me where some of these comments are? Because I can't see them.
Right
and
on,
who they're from. That'd be kind of cool.
Well, right here on this side, right here, we Miss Janet Grout was in here too as well. Miss Danielle's mainly tagging people in here. We got about 3 people watching. So
we got 3 people watching.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we're popular. Oh wait, we got 4.
We got 4.
Watch out. We're climbing, Joey. We're climbing. We're gonna get it all right. So you're gonna play another one. If you guys could throw something in the comments, that'd be great. Hi, Princess. How you doing? I'm good, my love. Go ahead and throw some comments up there for those 4 people in here watching. Would you just ask Joey something? Oh yeah, I'd love one. Tomatoes. I really like that. Now, is that something you
No,
wrote?
Texas songwriter Guy Clark.
That's right. You said that. I like that.
Yeah, it was a good little tune for me. It always has been, you know. And I got another one that people love to hear. It's kind of a goofy song. This was an old John Anderson song that I just kind of redid and made it my own. Yet this morning, when I left Alabama, must have been around in mid-July, I got behind a chicken truck from Georgia, and the feathers were flying like snow out of the sky. Couldn't get up to speed enough to pass him, and his sail was getting close to me. I set up my windshield. Oh, the farther I go, the harder it. Just my luck, chicken truck on Highway 65. Well, the hens are squawking, roosters crowing, slowing me down. Need to get a going, chicken truck on Highway 65.
Look, I touched it again. I did it. No, that's all you.
There we go.
There you. And see, now I'm going to yell at you. What is that? Yeah, me something.
But we do have a lot of great things coming up here. As we were talking about earlier, we've got Rockin' on the Chain coming up here. It's going to be at the end of April. Working with a great group of folks there to organize a 3-day music festival, and it's all about autism awareness.
Give me a minute.
You know, been pretty excited about that event. We've got 26 acts over 3 days that will be performing.
Oh, what's that?
No, we still got power though.
Somebody got shot.
You know where we're at, don't you?
have been a backfire.
Anyway, we got 26 acts over 3 days. We'll get started on Friday around 5 and go to 10. Saturday around noon and go to 10. Sunday at around noon and go to about 6 or 7 in the evening. Door prizes, raffles, great sponsors that are involved. And what's really cool about this is I was telling this young lady a while ago, they asked me to be in charge of entertainment.
Right.
You know, so and of course everybody's coming at me saying, well, you need to ask this person and you need to ask that person and you need to invite this person. And my initial response was, I'm not inviting anybody. I'm not asking anybody to come do this. I just simply put it out there that if you're a musician and autism means something to you and your family,
right,
you want to be a part of this event. And immediately the floodgates opened.
right.
And I had musicians from all genres of music that are going to be there and be a part of this. And then one way or another, they're all connected to autism. I mean, in one instance, we actually have a band member who is autistic, you know, and when he heard about this event, he immediately said, I want to do this.
That's awesome.
Got a young kid named Corey Ketchum. He's 24 years old. He's a musician here in our area, but his son is autistic. So those were the kind of people that I wanted to draw to this event, because they're not there for the fame or for being paid or anything like that. They're there to give themselves and their time to autism. So that's what it's all about. And this is going to be April 22nd, 21st, 22nd, and 23rd at Tanner's Lakeside, and it's going to be a huge 3-day music event.
We're definitely going to try to be out there for that. I know that the Kaizen band, and they one of their members is very supportive of Osment Entertainment. His wife is part of our Body, Mind, and Soul project for our artists. She helps the artist with their energy from on stage to off stage and gives them healing products to take better care of themselves. You know what I mean?
I need some of them healing products. Girl.
I mean, look. You see that little brown bag over there? That's for you. She normally brings little goodies and stuff for everybody, so it's always very nice.
Yes, you gonna get some of them healing products.
Listen, he gets them all the time. He actually comes out with us too. He's the sound guy at Leo's, and we help promote Dennis with that special sound. He comes out and helps us with the sound for our interviews too as well. He's been very giving towards the artist interviews. We kind of just want to give people that day for them, you know what I mean? Everybody wants to, tell their story and let everybody know, how they got into music and why they continue to do it. And I think, the autism awareness thing is very awesome, because music is a way that people can, not only just get out of their realm of, mindness. Sometimes the weight of the world attacks you in different ways. So it's good to have an avenue to be able to express yourself, and putting a thing together like that is really awesome. And that's really kind of you to do something.
And we're pretty excited. Each day we have a great entertainment lineup. Just for a couple of the highlights, like on Friday we've got Ed Bick, who's coming down. We've got the Nathan Baldwin band that's going to be returning to the stage, the Josh Blevins band. On Saturday we've got the Polk County Porch Pickers, which is another great autistic story, because 2 of those band members have sons that are autistic. And they're very supportive of this event. So you've got Polk County Porch Pickers, you've got Aggie Road that's going to be a part of the thing, and Bobby Long. I got the Brian James band from out of Orlando coming, and Brian is pretty busy in Orlando, but when he heard about this event, he called me up and he said, well, Joey, my child's not autistic. He said, and I'm not autistic. He said, but my wife works with autistic kids, and when she heard about this, she told me, she goes, you need to go be a part of this. You know, so that's why he's there, On Sunday, we've got Spankin' Sadie, Free Agent. Kaizen's going to be there. It's going to be a rockin' Sunday that's going to cap everything off. So it's going to be a big day, a big weekend, and we're super excited about it.
I know that a chunk of something.
Chunk's gonna be there too.
Miss
Yes,
Paulette
I love them
Herson.
two girls.
Oh yes,
When
they're very
you want to
talented
talk about
females.
natural energy
Yes.
on stage, I could just sit and watch them all day. And they're two of the most down to earth girls.
They
that
are, yes.
I mean, I could shoot the shit with them all day long. I mean,
Yes.
I really could. And they're just good people. But the first time I saw them, and they were just getting started, and I told my friend, I said, those two girls are on to something.
Yeah.
You know, because of their camaraderie they had together and the connection on stage, and it bleeds off into the audience. And and it's always been a rule of thumb for me. If I'm having fun on stage, the people in the audience are going to have fun, and they definitely Chunk of Something projects happiness and fun at all times.
Yes, they do. They're actually really good, and she is just she reminds me of like just a rough version of Melissa Etheridge. You know what I mean? Her voice is just.
She's a mountain girl. She's
from North Carolina.
Yeah, North Carolina, Waynesville area, and that's the Smoky Mountains. That's where she's from. So.
Yeah, she brought me some barbecue sauce from there when she went up there last. Holy crap! I didn't pay attention to the outside of the bottle, right? And I'm making this this pork loin, and I had put some water in it, so then that way it'd be real tender. And I loaded it up with that sauce, right? It was the damn spicy kind. But it was still so good. It was so good.
But it was hot, huh?
It was hot as hell, but it was good. And I ended up drinking a whole gallon of milk after that.
Yes.
But yes.
Get rid of the burn.
Oh man, that North Kakalaki sauce, man, I tell you, I love it. I do. And you know, I really like that vinegar base. It was very new to me. I went to college in North Carolina. And I studied to be it was firefighter B1 and EMT B a basic. So we had to do the volunteer firefighter class in order to be on the truck. So at I don't know 23 years old, I'm sitting there doing donuts in Smithville barbecue parking lot in an ambulance in the snow. It was the best thing in the world. I'll take
coolest thing ever.
I mean, come on. Who can say they've done donuts in an ambulance?
In an ambulance.
In the snow at like in the middle of a parking lot. Like, yeah, come on. It was great. And the guys that were with me, they were very bad influence. Whole bunch of rednecks from North Carolina firefighter school, so they weren't up to no damn good. No, we weren't. None of us really were. We had actually Smithfield had a call, and it was early morning in the management, and we had just left management, and they had just a little scare. And long story short, they're like, "Hey, can we do a donut?" Like in your park, and he was so willing with it. Like he was like, yeah, no worries. What's this next one you got for us?
Well, I guess I'll do an original for you.
I would like that.
This song right here, I wrote this song about 6 years ago, and this is another thing that's near and dear to my heart. But this song right here, I believe you've heard it before. I don't sing it very much out live because it's as we discussed a while ago, folks really don't want to hear original songs.
Right.
But I lost my mom and I spent 3 or 4 months trying to write a song because everybody around me was like, well, where's the song, Joey? You write songs. And I never could put this song together. But I got up one morning, on a Sunday morning, with a bit of a hangover. Sometimes that's when I do my best writing. But within about 15 minutes, I had this song wrote. So if there's anybody, that's had to deal with a family member or a loved one that deals with autism, or not autism, but dementia.
Yeah.
Standing in the kitchen, trying to do some dishes, when I hear her calling me. It was my sister's, and she's not here. But I go running just the same. I sit beside her as she tells a story that I just can't recall. But I just listen as if I were Susan. It was right there for it all. And sometimes she cries, and I do too. Sometimes she remembers just like it's brand new. Sometimes she forgets just like we all do. Sometimes she cries. Sometimes she cries. Now last Sunday morning, she asked her daddy, and I said, Mama, Daddy's gone. Well, she said to call him, and you better remind him that he needs to hurry home. I brush her hair back, and I kiss her forehead. You say, Mama, it won't be long. Then she closes her eyes and goes to the place where she is never alone. And sometimes she cries, and I do too. Sometimes she remembers just like it's brand new. Sometimes she forgets just like we all do. Sometimes she cries. Sometimes she cries. Now we're sitting at a table, sorting through pictures of the one who made us this way, trying to find a memory she'll be proud of to share on her special day. Sometimes we cry. Sometimes we cry.
You had me crying the whole damn time. Sure.
What's up,
Hi, Jamie.
A little original music for you there.
I know. See what? Took
And
you so long
it's
to put that
crazy.
together.
I sneak this song into my shows. And I always say, I always talk about how folks don't want to hear originals, but I'm going to sneak this one in on you because I always feel like there's somebody in that audience, and it never fails, that and this is a prime example. I was at Old Red's a week ago, and I did this song, and I had a lady to the left of me that was crying, and I had a lady to the right of me that was crying, and before I know it, I was crying too, because there's always somebody, you never know in a mixed group of people, but there's always somebody that song is going to affect, so, and that directly affects the fire out of me. Okay.
It definitely does. That is an amazing song,
Well, thank you.
and I'm sure she is extremely proud.
I just wish